Hey, I am here to tell you about my story so you know what is my experience, what is my knowledge, what is my wisdom, from where does it come, and what can you get through me? How can I help you? How can I support you? So, I'm coming from the place of depression and a very strong anxiety and fear. At my age of 25, I had like severe depression when I was not able to do anything proper. And until 29, I had several mental breakdowns, and I was very unhappy. I was not able to feel anything positive in my life. No pleasure, no excitement. It was just terrible. At the age of 29, I started to practice yoga and tantra intensively, and by magical coincidence, I ended up in a tantra massaging saloon in Prague, which is unique and wonderful and serene place where we um, offered. We channeled like a new level of experiences for people, for our clients. We were not it's not like the most of places in the world that call themselves tantra. This was really a temple of human divinity, a temple of a human body, temple of ultimate respect and love to body. And we learned when we practiced ourselves, the practicants there and masseuses there, we practiced like altered states of physical, emotional, and spiritual experiences, and we shared it with our clients. I was there for 6 years, and for 1 year I was a spacekeeper of this place. And through that time, I studied a lot of alternative healing modalities because of my personal state of being, because I was very depressed and I desired to feel happy and to feel free. And so I studied yoga psychology, aromatherapy, I did fastings, detoxes, urinotherapy. All the time I practiced Reiki because at 2009 I was initiated in Reiki, a healing modality, energetic healing modality, and I practiced it all the time. I served to many people in the massaging saloon. That time I taught tantra course for women in Prague. Um, I held dancing workshops for women in Prague. We with a massaging salon, we did group workshops of massages. So at that time, I started um, to hold space for people for their transformation, for their healing, and for their evolution and for their experiences. At one point, I had to quit all my activities in tantra massaging salon because I had a revelation for myself about the value of a feminine body and about the energy of my body, which was just too pressure. At that moment, I started to experience it as a too pressure to share it with the clients and with more men than the one. And but I was single at that moment. In my personal life, I was still very unhappy. I did everything possible to heal myself from depression and from strong anxiety and from strong fear, but I didn't have any healthy habits. I didn't know. I was not taught to understand my emotions, to feel myself, to be honest. I had no idea how to talk about what I feel, about my truth. I had no boundaries. I felt like minimum pleasure in sex with my partner. I was in a relationship with a partner who was open to more women, and I suffered there. It was very unpleasant for me, and I didn't know how to deal with all that things that time. Um, in that time, I stayed in Prague for 2 more years, and I practiced Indian massages in normal classical Indian massaging salon. So I have experiences also from this healing treatments. I offered Reiki to support people in healing of their issues. And after the time when I saw I'm not happy where I was, I decided to leave Prague, and by a miracle, I ended up in Spain, uh, riding a bike or backpacking, living just only with my basic possessions, with a backpack and with a tent and a little bit of personal clothing, with no money. I did all kind of stuff. I dumpster dived, I begged for money, I did performances on the street. I used to sell some small things, jewelry, which I created on my way. And it was the best time of my life. I loved it. I was so free. First time in my life, I was free. I was free from from responsibilities. I was free from duties. I just enjoy myself. I was outside. I slept outside. I washed myself in the rivers and in the seas. I loved that time. It was wonderful, wonderful. And in that time, I started to be very sensitive for energies, and I developed the ability of my body to read energies from the environment and from other people, and on a like whole different level than what I practiced in tantra massaging salon. All that time, when I was outside, I lived on the street and I lived in the nature. All the time, I was meeting people who needed support, who needed emotional support, who needed to be heard. That's like very heavy environment. Life on the street, it's so raw and so full of people who have very heavy experiences, and there were people traumatized in their childhood and abused and having like really challenging experiences in their life. And that people, they are basically the one of the those people need help the most, but they cannot afford it. They are not in contact with the healing modalities. It's basically not possible for them. So all the time I was there, I was talking with them and supporting them without them understanding that something is happening. So I developed a very natural way of talk with people and to help them to release what they need to release, to invite them to talk what they need to talk, and to support them in their emotional release. And it was such a beautiful, wonderful time of study for myself. Actually, I am a great student of life. From 2009, when I started to study my body, my health, and relations between body, health, mind, emotions, energetical body. I am studying every day up to this point, and I will never finish because I just love it. I love to understand things. I love to widen and deepen awareness, consciousness. I love to serve people. I love to help people, and I love to support people. That's why I do what I do. That I guide people to the essence, to their center, to the space which is the straight emanation of a divine inside of every human. And from that space, everything is perceived on a different level. And I love this feeling. It's for me, it's like the one of the most pleasant feelings in the world when I am in contact with somebody who is lost, who has like a lot of problems, who is lost in his mental patterns, in his challenges, and in his issues, who cannot like who cannot feel himself, who cannot get in contact with himself. And I can see on his way how he's how he's leaving all delusions, how he is clarifying his mind, how his emotions are changing, he is changing. And the point when we discover his essence, when his soul, the space inside, it's like it just starts to shine, and he can feel it, and he can start to create his life from a whole different perspective. This is one of the most pleasant feelings for me in my life, and that's why I do it. And I will probably do it forever. And to study because we are evolving, and our consciousness is evolving, and what was valid 10 years ago, now it's like totally different. And only by keeping our mind flexible and open, and like working in this really clear way, this way we are evolving like a humans. And that's my journey, and that's what I share. After the life on the street, I did my pilgrimage to Santiago de Compostela, from Andalusia to North Spain. And it was the most beautiful experience in my life. I went with my bike and also without the money, and it was a divine experience. I felt like I was just guided by God and held by God, and I experienced so much grace and bliss on that pilgrimage. And when I came there, when I arrived into Santiago de Compostela, I met a man with who I felt incredible connection. We were connected spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and sexually. And it was like really something incredibly deep, because on the first sight, he was completely different from men who I was attracted to all my life. But I felt something very deep from him. And we spent a beautiful time together. We spent 2 years together. And through him, I was initiated in a divine sex, in a divine sexuality, in a spiritual sexual connection, in the way of experiencing sexuality, which was meant to be experienced by our design. It was so natural and intuitive between us. We had beautiful experiences. We were in ecstasy together. It was incredible. And because of and thanks to my practice before in a tantra massaging salon, because I practiced a lot of exercises for conscious work with sexual energy. I was aware of my body. I was aware what is happening, what does energy do in my body, and how does it affect my life, how does it manifest in my life. Thanks to this, I was able to decode the natural interaction of feminine and masculine essence, ecstatic interaction of feminine and masculine essence. It's love manifested physically. It's something between man and woman. When we are just ourselves and we are completely physical, our mind is switched off, and we enjoy our physicality, we enjoy our bodies, and we enjoy our presence and interaction of feminine and masculine. So this is what I am teaching now, and what I offer in my ebook, and in my guidance for men and also for women, and also in the retreats. In September 2023, I am preparing the first retreat, Blissful Polarities, which is focused exactly on awakening and enhancing feminine and masculine essence. And it's this first is for singles, for single women and single men, where we can experience freedom of feminine and masculine essence, but in a safe space, in a divine space. I will hold space for this sacred experience for us. And so look at my Linktree, look at my Facebook. You will find information about the retreats in the Facebook group Blissful Polarities. Contact me anyway by Messenger, by WhatsApp, by email, because there are some wonderful things that can be uncovered in you, and they are waiting. They are waiting for you to put attention in them and to make them grow, to make them blossom, and to create something beautiful from them. Now, after 2 years with my partner, we had to split. Anyway, I got pregnant. We had to split because we had some very strong unsolved issues in our lives, and we couldn't deal with them together. But I had a child, and I ended up alone with my child, which was like the most difficult experience in my life. And I experienced like a lot of struggles, all problems, all issues from my past. They came out. And 6 months after my daughter was born, I was diagnosed with aggressive form of skin cancer, to which my mother died like 9 years ago. And the prognosis for not treating this cancer was 2 to 6 months of life. And I was offered a classic treatment. They would do like a surgery to remove some of lymph nodes of my body, and then proceed with radiotherapy, chemotherapy, classical treatment. But I refused from personal reasons, because I need to be with my daughter. And also at that point I knew, because I helped to heal such a lot of people, I knew that we are powerful, that I'm insanely powerful, much more powerful than I know about myself, and then I can heal everything and anything if I decide. So I did. I healed myself. I used aromatherapy, some alternative healing methods, and I did a lot of inner work. And this experience I use also in supporting people in their inner transformation and their inner healing. Because it's a pure experience. It's a solid experience of how powerful we are. What is the power of human when he decides, and what is the power of his mind, and what is the power of his intention. Now my daughter is 4 years ago. My daughter is 4 years old, and I am living in central Portugal, and I offer my service to people who feel the calling, the deep calling from their soul, to just to let go all what we learned in life, and all what keeps us from shining fearless light of our divinity. I am here to serve to these people, and to guide them, and to see them, and to feel them in their own awakening and liberating process. For women, I offer 3 months and 1 year guidance to full spiritual, emotional, mental, and sexual liberation. And for men, I offer 3 months guidance in their intimate life if they experience discomfort, if they cannot connect with the women, if they have some issues in sexuality. I am able to guide them to their deepest sexual essence, which is connected with love, and it's so deep in masculine heart, and it makes miracles in their lives. So let's get in touch if you feel so.